students, welcome to this new chapter in chemistry called electrochemistry. Now let us see what is an electrochemistry. Electrochemistry is a branch of chemistry that deals with study of behavior of an electrolyte. Here, the term electrolyte indicates the substance that produces an electrically conducting solution when dissolved in a polar solvent like water. The best example is the common salt that we people use in our daily life. That is nothing but sodium chloride. When sodium chloride is dissolved in water, dissociates and forms Na plus and Cl minus ions. Now, under influence of applied electric field, Na plus is attracted by cathode whereas Cl minus by anode, and they undergo some chemical changes. So that chemical changes itself considered as study of behavior of an electrolyte in electrochemistry. In electrochemistry, we are going to learn behavior of large number of electrolytes like sulfuric acid, like HCl. Along with this concept, in electrochemistry, we also going to study production of electricity from energy released during spontaneous redox chemical reactions. Here, the term spontaneous indicates the reaction that takes place itself without any external help, whereas the term redox indicates the reaction which involves both oxidation and reduction. Best examples for this process is batteries, in which energy of spontaneous redox chemical reaction is converted to electrical energy. Along with this concept, we also study using electrical energy to bring about non-spontaneous chemical transformations. And best example for this process is purification of copper. Actually, that redox reaction is non-spontaneous, but using electric current we make it spontaneous. Now let us see importance of electrochemistry in our life. In what way we are related to electrochemistry, where exactly electrochemistry we use. Let us see that. We people come across with many metals in our life, like aluminium, like magnesium, like copper, iron, sodium, etc. Electrochemistry plays a very important role in production of these metals. Sometimes we people use metals which are coated with other metals like copper, like silver, and even sometimes gold coated metals. And this process is carried out by using electroplating that comes under electrochemistry only. Whenever we people use metals like especially copper, aluminium, we expect the metal should be highly purified form, and that purification is done by using principles of electrochemistry. The batteries that we people use in our life, they work under the principles of electrochemistry only. Hence, we can say that electrochemistry is very important in our life, and knowingly or unknowingly, we are using principles or applications of electrochemistry in our life. Let us see electrical conductors. So you know it is very simple. Conductor means any substance that allows passage of electricity through it. In electrochemistry, we divide electrical conductors into two types. The first one, metallic or electronic conductor, and the second type is electrolytic or ionic conductor. We people are more interested in study of electrolytic or ionic conductors. Let us see the first one, metallic conductors or electronic conductors. And you know that in the case of metallic conductors, conductance is mainly due to the free flow of electrons. Hence, electrons are the main reason for the conductance in the case of metals or electronic conductors. We can give large number of examples. Metals, alloys, graphite, some organic polymers. They are the example for electronic conductors. The conductance in metal or electronic conductors depends on the following factors. The first one, nature and structure of the material. Here nature indicates whether that metal or electronic conductor is electropositive in nature, whether metal present in that material has low ionization enthalpy or high ionization enthalpy, etc. The second factor on which conductance of electronic conductor depends is number of valence electrons per atom. Here number of valence electrons indicates electrons present in the outermost valence shell, and the last one is the temperature. And generally it is found that the conductance of metal or electronic conductors decreases with increase in the temperature. Now let us study the second type of conductor, that is electrolytic conductor or ionic conductor. The term electrolytic has two parts. One is electrical or electricity, second part lysis. Here by using electricity we break ionic substance into ions, and ions are responsible for the conductance. That is the meaning. In electrolytic conductors, as I told, conductance is mainly due to the free ions. Hence, electrolytic conductors conduct electric current either in their molten state or aqueous solution due to the free movement of ions. We can give large number of examples. We can give acids. We can take examples from acids, bases, and salts. As I already told, these electrolytic conductors are also called as ionic conductors. Electrolytic conductors are of two types. The first one is strong electrolyte and the second one is weak electrolyte. See, in the case of strong electrolyte, whenever we add electrolyte to the water, it undergoes complete dissociation to form ions. Whereas in the case of weak electrolyte, only few molecules are dissociated or undergo ionization. So, as I told, strong electrolytes are those which undergo almost complete dissociation into ions when dissolved in water. So, we can give large number of examples for strong electrolytes. In acids, we can give hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sulfuric acid. In bases, we can say sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. Salts like sodium chloride, potassium chloride, ammonium chloride, etc. are the example for the strong electrolytes. Weak electrolytes are those, as I already told, they undergo partial ionization when dissolved in water. And if you want them to dissociate completely, then you have to dilute infinitely large quantity of water. We should add it. See, we can take here also large number of examples. From acids we can take acetic acid, formic acid, hydrogen cyanide, carbonic acid. From bases we can take ammonium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, etc. The conductance of electrolytic or ionic conductor depends on the following factors. The first one is nature of the electrolyte. Here nature of the electrolyte indicates whether that electrolyte is strong or weak. The second one, size of the ions produced in aqueous medium. Let us try to understand this concept with the help of alkali metal ions which are produced when dissolved in water. And order of ionic conductance is found to be like this. Cesium is going to have higher ionic conductance, whereas lithium plus is going to have lower ionic conductance in aqueous medium. But generally our expectation is lithium ion, being smaller in size, should have higher ionic conductance compared to that of cesium. Why this order is reversed? Let us try to get the answer for this question. See, when we add lithium plus ion to the water, due to its small size and high charge density, it is going to attract a large number of water molecules. In other words, oxygen of water molecule. And because of this solvation or hydration, its size is going to increase. Whereas cesium, though it has a +1 charge only, due to its large size, charge density is less. Hence, it is going to attract only few water molecules. Therefore, its size is not going to increase. And we can understand this even with the help of the enthalpy of hydration values. It is a lithium plus ion that has highest negative value, whereas cesium plus has a lowest negative value. As negative value increases, in other words, hydration increases, size also increases, its ionic mobility in aqueous medium decreases. Please note this conductance of ions in water, students, because based on this they already asked some MCQs in competitive exam. Let's move to the next factor, that is nature of the solvent and viscosity. Here nature of the solvent indicates whether that is polar or non-polar. The fourth factor is concentration of the electrolytic solution. And the last one is temperature. Generally, with increase in temperature, ionic conductance increases. Now let us see differences between electrolytic and the metallic conductors. In the left hand side, let us take metallic conductors, and in the right hand side of the box, let us take electrolytic conductors. See, as you know that in metallic conductors, conductance is due to free flow of electrons, whereas in electrolytic conductors, conductance is due to the free movement of ions. In the metallic conductors, conductance takes place in solid state, whereas in electrolytic conductors, conductance takes place in molten or aqueous solution. In the metallic conductor, there is no change in chemical properties, whereas in electrolytic conductors, electrolyte decomposes under influence of the applied electric field. In metallic conductors, conductance decreases with the temperature, whereas here conductance increases with the increase in temperature. Thank you, students.